Hello. Hi, everyone who's joining. It's so good to see you. For those of you who don't know me, this is Sonika. Thank you for spending your Saturday evening with me. I'm really excited to have yet another chat with you on sustainability. And I'm just in the process of adding our lovely co-host for the evening, Ganesh, to the room. Today's session is going to be about organic fabrics. And who better than the head of the Global Organic Textile Standard, GOTS Asia, to be able to tell us more about it. I've actually just sent him the invite and I hope he can join the room soon. These things tend to be a bit glitchy and they take a few minutes. We actually practiced a few minutes before. I think this is his first live. Okay, it says he's unable to join, so I'm going to try again. Okay, so that's my invite that I've sent over to Mr. Ganesh, who's the representative of GOTS South Asia, who's going to be in conversation with us today. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Ganesh. I think you need to rotate your camera so we can see your
Yeah,
wonderful face.
perfect now.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, camera घुमा लीजिए.
बिल्कुल.
You're visible to be like this, so maybe you want to rotate by 90 degrees. Perfect.
It's perfect now?
Yes, you're now officially an Instagram pro.
Thank you very much. All credit to you.
Thank you for taking the time on a Saturday. I know how incredibly busy you are, and it's just so wonderful to be able to talk to you. Before I get into any further detail, I've already said a little bit about who you are. Would you please do us the honor and introduce yourself? There's already several people on the group eager to hear about who you are.
Okay. So thanks, Sonika, for giving me this opportunity, and let me brief you all the participants on this call. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the participants who have been attending this call from various parts of the world. Yeah. Hi everybody, this is Ganesh Kasekar. I am the South Asia representative for the GOTS, that is the Global Organic Textile Standards, and I am associated with the textile industry from the last 17 years, and my previous history was into testing, inspection and certification services, and I am associated with the GOTS with the profile and responsibility for these 4 countries in South Asia of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka from past 1 year. So I look forward with this assignment, and thanks Sonika for giving us an opportunity to really get into connected with the designer aspects of the textile industry. So thank you once again before the start of this call.
No, thank you. It's my pleasure. So before we get into today's conversation, I want to really explain why we're having this session to everyone who's attending. As we know, a lot of people in the fashion industry want to now become more sustainable because we are learning that fabrics are bad for the environment. And we keep hearing the word organic. It's used a lot. It's often misused. And sometimes people call their product organic. A lot of manufacturers sell something to designers saying, yeah, organic hai, or this is organic, buy it. And the designers sometimes don't know because organic and non-organic looks the same. Which is why, by my experience of over 20 years in sustainability, one of the well-known, established, respectable, trustworthy standards for organic materials is the Global Organic Textile Standard. And my work is to work with brands and designers and to help them to source GOTS materials. But sometimes there are questions. Young designers are confused and misled by other people. And so our job today is to ask you some simple questions that a designer or a brand might have if they want to work with organic fabric. Yeah, so let's begin.
Correct.
Wonderful.
Yeah, sure. Let's start.
Okay, so very, very simple question. If I were to ask you, sir, what is organic, just in your own words, what would you say?
Okay, so organic is something, a product or a product manufactured. Let's talk, we are in textile industry, so let's talk of textile. So when we talk of organic textile, we ensure that whatever raw material we are using for manufacturing any product in our premises, the raw material used is organic by nature. Okay, right. The raw material is sustainable, and we at GOTS are having our own set of protocol being followed, to be followed by a particular factory who wants to produce an organic product, and if the factory is in line with our requirements, then any goods manufactured in that particular premises can be termed as organic or approved as per the GOTS standards.
Understood.
a basic outline of the GOTS approved products.
Wonderful. And if someone wanted to learn what is the GOTS standard, where would they be able to read about the GOTS or the organic standard of your company?
Yeah. So let me clear in short. The GOTS standard starts from, it's a processing standard basically.
Yes.
So we don't cover because if you talk of organic, then 80% of the product is revolving around one fiber, that is the king of fiber, that is the cotton. Okay.
Yes.
But agriculture certifications or the farming part is not covered under the GOTS. However, GOTS does approve the fibers which are approved by the IFOAM family. The IFOAM family stands for the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement. So whatever fibers,
Sorry, slow. International Federation of
Organic Agriculture Movement.
Okay, I see.
So it is called as IFOAM in short.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever fibers which are covered under this family, those are considered as the raw material for manufacturing of a GOTS approved product.
And
so
they are cotton, and sorry, I'm going to ask you lots of questions because we have 5-year-old children learning from experts. So we are going to so the yarn fibers. So you say basically begins with fiber. GOTS is beginning with fiber. We understand, and the fibers that they cover, of course, are cotton, and sir, which others?
At the moment, because of the time constraint, you can just have a basic guideline that all natural fibers can be covered under the GOTS program. Okay, because if we keep on talking on the fiber itself, we'll not be able to finish it off in next 2-3 hours because there's a whole big chapter being mentioned in the standard and everything. So for basic guideline, please, you can consider that all natural fibers can be covered under the GOTS standard.
So cotton, linen,
silk.
I see.
Yeah.
Are all covered under GOTS. And you said
that it can be covered.
You certify the fiber.
Correct.
What happens?
No, we don't certify the fiber.
Yes.
We the farm level is certified as organic by the respective country governments and all. So in India we have APIDA, which is controlling these things. So likewise we have NPOP and NOP standards for the US and the European market. So the farms are certified by these standards or these certification programs.
Okay.
So as a raw material, whatever fiber will be produced in these farms are being transported to the first processing industry of textiles, that is the ginning, where we remove all the seeds and everything from the fiber and we get a manufacture a bale out of that. So while transporting the goods from the farm to this ginning factory, the trader has to take a transaction certificate from an approved certifying body. Okay. And these goods will then move to a facility of ginning which is having a GOTS scope certificate with them.
Yes.
Okay. Now, any company which will be having a GOTS scope certificate, they will process this raw material, and after a there are certain calculations, because after ginning we will be having certain losses and all. So while after ginning process, when they will forward those ginned bales to a spinning factory, an approved certifying body will issue a transaction certificate which will state that from a particular GOTS approved facilities, what volume of organic fibers have been transported to a spinning factory to manufacture the yarn.
Yes.
So now this spinning factory will also need to have a GOTS scope certificate with them. They again, after getting the goods along with the proper transaction certificate, what we call them as TCs, they will again manufacture the yarn from this fiber, and when they will supply this yarn to a weaving unit, they will again issue a transaction certificate.
Yes.
With all the details, what volume, where it was sourced from, it is going which company. Okay.
Yes.
And then that spinning company will also have a GOTS scope certificate with them. So likewise, this is a complete chain of traceability from the fiber up to the final garmenting or the retailing stage. You can have a traceability of the GOTS approved product.
Okay, sir, you'll have to take a deep breath. Lots of questions are coming now. I'm familiar with some of this process, but you described it so beautifully. I'm going to just break it down to ask you the questions that we as designers and brands are most often asking. Guys, everyone who's joining in just now, we have Mr. Ganesh here from GOTS Asia, and he's answering all of our questions about how to source organic fabrics. I'm so glad you're all tuning in. What he so beautifully explained to us is that GOTS, which is one of the premier organic certification organizations worldwide, begins their certification process after the farm from certain approved organic farms to the very first stage called ginning, and then spinning and weaving and so on. And he explained to us that at every level, the manufacturing facility doing any of these processes has to have a certificate that indicates that they are following God's standard for that particular process, and that's called a scope certificate. So a
Scope
weaver has
certificate, right.
a weaving scope certificate, spinner has a spinning scope certificate. I want to just tell you that as someone who works in sustainability, brands often think that the scope certificate is actually sufficient. It is not. Just because an organization has a scope certificate does not mean what you're buying from them is organic. So what Mr. Ganesh beautifully explained is that particular materials through the supply chain, each lot or each order actually has to be audited by a third party to check that yes, this is organic. My 1,000 meters or my 10,000 meters or my 10,000 kgs of cotton is organic. And that is done by a third party, and that document is called a transaction certificate.
Very
Sir,
correct.
am I able to explain the difference of transaction certificate and scope certificate well, or would you like to elaborate? Because a lot of people in the industry, when they get a scope certificate from a vendor, they don't realize that they actually have to ask for a TC or a transaction certificate for their fabric order. So please help us understand the difference between the two.
Yeah, and thanks, Sonika, for taking up this point, because many companies, even I come across, have this misinterpretation that once they have a scope certificate, then whatever they manufacture in their premise is organic or approved as per GOTS. It's not the
Yes.
case.
Okay.
Once you have a scope certificate, it means that your factory is actually working on the basic principles of social, environmental, and the ethical norms which are being set in the GOTS standard. Okay, so that means your factory is running as per the GOTS standard, but technically the actual product that you are manufacturing in that company needs to be in line with the various clauses. Like for example, you just cannot go ahead with any blend of fibers in organic or GOTS certification. The basic requirement is that 70% of the content of the product needs to be sustainable or organic, and the remaining 30% of the fiber can be any other fiber which are being listed in our GOTS standard. But
Yes.
again here, if you want to mix a conventional cotton along with the organic cotton, it is not allowed.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
very,
Absolutely.
the very basic reason for this is, and very important reason, because in the GOTS sustainability standard we don't allow any conventional cotton fiber which is grown by the use of genetically modified organisms. We call it GMOs. So
GMOs.
GMOs is completely banned. I mean, we cannot use GMO seed in the GOTS supply chain. So this is so this type of certain parameters, each and every manufacturer or the facility which is taking the GOTS scope certificate should keep in mind before issuing or claiming that they are manufacturing or supplying the GOTS approved products.
Absolutely. And actually, on that note, I'm going to share here with people some of the things that I understand of what it means to be organic. And sir, please chime in if I miss something. When you're buying organic cotton that is certified by GOTS, it guarantees that the process which has been certified by GOTS excludes toxic chemicals, excludes toxic fertilizers, excludes genetically modified seeds which are known to cause long-term environmental impact, negative impact, and also guarantees certain social compliances, and all of the compliance of the laws of the land around wages, structural stability, etc. So when you're working with a facility that got certified, you are covered on the social front, and you're also making sure that you're not buying cotton that is actually damaging the ecosystem where it is being grown. Sir, any other salient features of the GOTS standard that I might be missing, just at a high level, some other area that it covers in terms of impact that I might be missing?
No, because again, as I will reinstate my statement that the GOTS standard is based on these three basic principles, that is social, environmental, and the ethical parameters. So by social, we mean that there is no discrimination between the workers, and all workers are having the minimum wages right and everything. All those parameters are covered. We ensure that these parameters are being thoroughly followed in the facilities throughout the year, not only at the time of audit when the GOTS audit is going to happen, but because the CBs have the right, they can go and do an unannounced audit in any certified factory at any point of time. So they have to be vigilant enough. Yeah, they have to be vigilant enough, and they need to ensure that they are following these standards thoroughly throughout the year. So social, again, environmental, we all know that we need to take care of Mother Nature, so all the effluents and all the things need to be taken care of very properly. So there are proper parameters.
I'm interrupting you. So sorry I'm interrupting you. You used a word called effluent. I want to take a moment to explain to some of our joiners what effluent means. People don't realize that in the dyeing and the printing processes where GOTS actually plays a critical role is that usually dye houses and mills, when they do dyeing and printing, they use a lot of water and chemical, and all the chemically polluted water is actually put back into the rivers, and it's actually carcinogenic. But GOTS, from what I understand, requires you to purify the water and to responsibly dispose of the chemical waste before you put the water back in the ecosystem. Sir, am I correct in that understanding?
Yeah, let me elaborate it in two more lines for this. First, of course, we cannot use garments like whites. We are all fascinated by colors and we enjoy wearing colorful clothes and all. It's a fashion industry after all. And
Yes.
color cannot be obtained like this. Basically, they are chemicals. Okay, but when we talk of GOTS supply chain or a complete traceability of GOTS, what GOTS have also ensured that whatever dyes or chemicals or the specialty chemicals or any auxiliaries, a chemical that will be used in processing any dyeing, bleaching, printing, finishing of an GOTS approved product, those particular chemicals also need to pass through the approval system of GOTS standards.
I see.
So there is a very stringent requirement for the chemical industries or the dyestuff manufacturers who have to manufacture the dyestuffs and comply as per the GOTS requirements. So
I
this
see.
ensures that there is a minimum or zero impact on the actual worker who is actually dyeing in the factory, and also to the end user who is actually wearing the colorful garments. So we
Yes.
ensure that the products are covered under or approved under the GOTS system.
I see. Sir, I'm actually
Yeah.
scrolling the screen for questions as they're coming, and I have two questions here that have come. One is, if someone wants to learn more about the GOTS standard, is it on the website? And second, I have some designers and brands here who say that they want to become GOTS certified themselves. How would they go about that? If you could answer these two questions for us.
Let me answer the first question. Yes, on our website, you can have all whatever I am talking over here. It will take a few hours for you to go through all those things because everything is explained in the proper details on our website. Who needs to certify? Retailers for the what are the points for retailers? What are the points for the manufacturers, the industries, and everything is mentioned in details on the website. You can pass on our website address to all the participants on later stage. Yes, and coming back to second question of the designers, correct? Can you just repeat the question again so that I can give the answer properly?
Sure. And just really quickly for the GOTS website, GOTS, Global Organic Textile Standard. If you Google this, it comes up, and actually the website goes into a fair amount of detail about their very stringent standards, which we're learning about today from the lovely Mr. Ganesh. There's a couple of people here who are asking us, can a textile processing unit become GOTS certified? So my question was,
Okay.
that if a business wants to become GOTS certified, how do they go about it?
Again, okay, I am representing the GOTS standard, so my responsibility is to take care of the standards, and globally the standard is being implemented, or we have our approved certifying agencies. So globally we have 16 agencies, out of which 7 to 8 are active very much in India also. So you need to approach to them and tell them that okay, you want to cover your facility under the GOTS sustainability program, and then
Excuse me.
they will.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. And they will review your application. They will take into consideration what are the processes covered in your facilities, how many number of workers are there. So depending all those things, they will calculate and tell you, okay, and depending upon the availability of the auditor, they will let you know that the audit will be completed in a 1 day or a 2 day or whatever time frame it requires. Accordingly, you will have to pay the application fees and everything to the certifying body itself. We are not into picture for any financial or all those part. Everything is done by the certifying bodies, and then
I see.
yeah, they will also help you out with the basic checklist of what are the parameters to be covered before you go ahead with the GOTS standards and all basic general guidelines, and then an audit will be conducted. And if the certifying body finds that okay, particular XYZ company is working or adhering to the GOTS requirement, they will issue you a scope certificate. The entire process may take 1 month or 1.5 months, depends upon how big the organization is, how fast the response is from the certifying bodies, and how fast even the facilities are cooperating with the certifying bodies.
Sure.
So you can take that period. And again, as I told you, the commercial aspects don't ask over here again, because this is all been decided by the between the facility and the certifying body. We don't have any role in the commercial aspects over there.
I see. So, if a new organization now, so guys, just to take a step back, what Mr. Ganesh explained is that if you are involved in textile production in any capacity, you can actually get certified from GOTS and receive a scope certificate for a particular process in the supply chain, which starts from
Correct.
ginning, goes all the way to a fashion brand, which means ginning,
Correct.
spinning, weaving, printing, dyeing, factory, brand.
All, yes.
Any of these people can actually get GOTS certified, right, sir? Have I understood correctly?
Yes, but retailers are exempted from coming under the purview of scope of GOTS certification. Retailers
I
need not
see.
go ahead with this.
Okay.
Because
So, but if
thing
I'm a
is,
manufacturing company, so it stops at factory
yeah,
level, sir?
no, see, because once if you are having a final garment with you,
Yes.
okay, and you are claiming that it is as per the GOTS standard, definitely you will be having a GOTS logo on the backside. So it is a enough proof, because the logo will include it's a specific logo which includes the who has certified it, what is the license number, and based on that, it is the complete proof that okay, yes, this particular garment which is in front of me has passed through all those supply chain which is in accordance to the GOTS standard. So that's it. So retailers, because at the retail outlets they will sell the product with the GOTS logo on them. So
With
that's
the logo.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think not very many people are aware of this, that for a garment to have a GOTS logo, it actually needs to be fully GOTS certified, not just an individual process. But the GOTS logo
No,
actually
because
is very, sorry?
no, you are correct.
You
Go
are
ahead.
agreeing, yes. And the GOTS logo
Yeah.
actually is very well respected and recognized worldwide. So if as a brand or a manufacturer, you become GOTS certified and you're selling product with a GOTS logo on it, there are people who will buy it only, just for example, like, when we buy organic food, we say, USDA organic is well recognized.
Yes.
Similarly,
Yeah.
in fashion, I don't think anything is more recognized than the GOTS organic logo to my
Correct. Very
knowledge,
true.
the various brands
Correct.
countries that I work in.
Correct. Very true.
Now, sir, if I am a designer and I'm looking for a GOTS manufacturer, and I'm talking from first-hand experience, and when designers and brands come to us, how do they find a factory, a mill, a dyer, a weaver who is GOTS certified in the country where they want to do production?
Again, our website is our Bible.
Yes.
Just log on to our website. You have an easy access. You can find the list of certified entities, and not only it's so easy. You can even go in depth that you can filter it with the products. You can filter it with the processings. Even you can filter it with the region also. I mean, like if you want all the
Yes.
supplies from India, you can get likewise. So
Yes.
again, I request whoever wants more information or support from GOTS, first at least have a look at and go through into the deep dive of our website. Your 95% of the questions will be solved over there.
Yes, and I have to agree with you. I actually know some of these answers. I wanted you to share. As someone who produces for global brands, and we often get requests, do you have organic silk? Do you have organic dyeing? Do you have organic checks and stripes? We have a huge supplier base, but sometimes even we don't know someone who's doing a very particular organic certified process. And we heavily rely on the GOTS website, which I have to say is very impressive. Depending on the process as well as the country of origin, you can actually find a supplier and reach out to them. And what's also wonderful is if someone tells you that they are GOTS certified, I find it very reliable if their name is listed on the GOTS website, because then I know that there is no fraud.
Yeah, because we only put those facilities name on our website which are going through all these stringent requirements.
Absolutely.
And once the certifying body who is doing their responsibility with due diligences, after confirming from them only, we are uploading those names on the website. So you can just close your eyes and go through all the names available on the site. You can you can work with them. And in case if you have any additional doubts or something like that, You can reach me at any point of time. I'm there to support you.
This I will take personal. I vouch for him because throughout COVID, when our suppliers were closed because of lockdown, we were basically harassed, Mr. Ganesh. Please find us someone else. Our mills have closed because Tamil Nadu is shut. So
No,
my
Sonika, that's
point
my
is,
responsibility.
absolutely, and we sincerely appreciate you and the work your organization is doing. My point is,
Thank you
if
very
you
much.
are a socially, you're welcome, sir. If you're a socially responsible brand that wants to have positive environmental impact, if a supplier tells you verbally that they are sustainable, please do not take them at face value. The reason for having conversations like this is because I'm sincerely concerned, as someone who's worked in sustainability for 20 years, at the number of people who are lying and using sustainability like a buzzword. You are talking to the South Asia representative of GOTS, which is one of the most respected environmental organic material standards worldwide. And we are guiding you on how to find people who are actually authentic suppliers of organic rather than there is so many shops in Delhi. Nehru Place Market, you'll go and they'll sell you fabric and say it's organic. There is no proof because the organic and non-organic look the same. And today we have established so far in this conversation that there is proof that something is organic. First of all, the vendor is organic if they're supplying organic materials, if they're listed on the GOTS website. Second of all, they have a scope certificate, which indicates the particular manufacturing process that they're certified to do. So if someone is a weaver and they have a scope certificate for weaving, means they are certified to do organic weaving. Thirdly, your fabric comes with something called a transaction certificate, which is authenticated by a third party that your fabric is indeed organic. And without these proper due processes, if someone tells you that the fabric you're buying from them is organic, I request you, please don't believe them. Because, sir, maybe talk about the fact that there is a cost to certification and there is a cost to transaction certificates. Maybe that's why people lie about it.
See, if you talk of the scope certificate cost, yeah, I agree. It will be a bit pinching. I mean, like it will be a quite little bit high. But when you talk of a transaction certificate, it's not that costly. I mean, like come on, if you go to any hoteling also we spend 2-3 thousand at one time. So working for a proper sustainability standard and considering the environmental prospectus, this cost is nothing. So and TCs, I tell you, are not that costly at all. Okay, but again, if I again make your statements again more, I mean like more stronger, yes, I would advise to all people in the industry, if anyone is saying to you that he's supplying you an organic product or something like that, only ask for two things, guy. Hey guy, show me the scope certificate and the transaction certificate. If the person is able to give you these two certificates, you can trust and go ahead with the product.
Absolutely. Sir, I also want to share with you a very interesting anecdote. What motivated me to reach out to you and say, I'm actually encouraging Mr. Ganesh to do a class with me on sourcing organic materials, because believe it or not, we have had designers and brands globally come to us and say, can you counter source this fabric for us that they have from another supplier? And when I have asked them, what is the ethical standard? Some vendor has given them a fake standard. Not only the name of the standard does not exist. So there are fabrics in the market like organic milk fabric, organic corn fabric, and they have some standard and you Google it, it does not exist. And so all the more I felt that in terms of environmental standards, we must educate people about what is real and what is fake. Because as you are aware, as sustainability is becoming popular, there are so many shortcuts being taken that if we really want to have impact, we have to pay the minimum price of the transaction certificate. The vendors and suppliers have to invest in getting their facility certified. It's a business investment. Only then will we actually be able to have any positive environmental impact.
Correct. And just in addition to these 2 points, two things. One is how genuinely you as a businessman are really looking forward for a sustainable product to be launched in the market. That is one part. And talking of organic, just don't take this word very lightly each and every time, because in many countries this term is legally protected. So
I see.
Yeah, so this word organic is legally protected in many markets. So when you talk of organic, just ensure that you are really following the path or the directions laid by the standard. and be safe.
Absolutely. Sir, you have actually made my day simply because, and for those of you who are joining us right now, we're in conversation with Mr. Ganesh, who's the representative of South Asia for the Global Organic Textile Standard. And he shared something so important, that organic in some countries is a legally protected term. Why is that? Because organic is a methodology and approach towards having positive environmental impact, towards ethics, as well as towards social compliance. And especially in India, as the sustainability brand market is emerging, a lot of young brands are using words like handmade, organic, and sustainable without any backing of those claims. Now, because the Indian
Correct.
consumer might not be as aware, we are not catching them. I work with America, so I'm aware that I can't use organic unless I have legal proof, because the brands need proof, because they could get into legal trouble. So for the Indian brands and designers who are listening, please don't call something organic unless you actually have certification and proof that it is indeed organic, because it's not just a general word you're using. As Mr. Ganesh rightfully said, it's legally protected. On that note, sir, I
Yeah,
just
and
wanted to ask you, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, just one more point from the market perspective of domestic market, I will say already 16 of leading domestic brands have agreed to proceed ahead with the sustainability way of manufacturing of the products. So from our perspective, we are very happy to know that even the awareness in the domestic brands and the consumer customers is really improving, because if you know, go in nowadays in any malls and all, you can also find some of the hoardings which claims to be having some sort of the other of the sustainability standard, and GOTS happens
Yes,
to be one of the prominent feature over there. So
yes.
I see a new dimension or new array of hope in the domestic industry, whereby sustainability will be taking a will be having its own importance, and the consumer will be really having a sustainable product which is of a good use to them.
Absolutely. And to repeat some of the points of the beginning of the conversation for those who's joining in, if you actually buy a product which uses GOT certified cotton or GOT certified materials, not only is the particular raw material organically grown without using genetically modified seeds and harmful chemicals, the dyeing and printing uses safe chemicals as well. There is recycling of water, as well as protection of human rights. And so when we talk about organic, there's actually a huge methodology which you can go check out on the GOTS website. And so for all those who are joining as consumers who want to be more aware, when you see that a brand is calling themselves organic, for example, I'm a huge supporter of No Nasties in India, who actually shares their GOTS organic certificates on their website, and you openly know that this is the GOTS certificate, this is the fabric, you know what you're buying is GOTS certified. If there are other brands using the word organic and you are buying something just because they said it's organic, I would urge you to hold your brands accountable and ask them to show you what is the process and the proof, because organic is not just a qualitative description, it's actually a scientific
Correct.
approach. I mean, there's a global
Correct.
body and a South Asia representative explaining to us what it is. So it is a science, not a word to be abused. Is that right, sir?
Very correct. Very correct,
Wonderful.
and thank you for making my job easier.
No, you are here to make my job easier. All I do all day long is try to educate people. It's very disturbing when you are actually like, so we offer only and only certified organic with transaction certificate to brands. But when they come to us and we are competing with other manufacturers, because we do production for global brands as well, the other manufacturers, the brand will say, we don't know what a TC is. And I'm like, that means you don't know what you bought is organic. Because if it's actually
Correct.
organic, it cannot come without a TC. So they will
Yes.
say there are brands and manufacturers who will say, "Oh, I have 20,000 meters fabric in my godown. It's organic." And I ask, "Well, what is the proof it's organic?" So you have made my job
No, but
easier. I just need to talk.
yeah, but this problem is really common with all the international brands who are working with GOTS program from past so many years, and educating people like them is like our day-to-day activity, and which I love and I'm doing it. But also there is a valid reason which I think from if you look from the other side, because you know how textile industry is, not a person is stable in any job in any company for a longer period of time, so people just keep on changing, and by the time someone becomes aware of the system, he moves out. So we have to face all those challenges and keep upgrading the knowledge of the industry, and that's what we are doing.
Absolutely. You are so right, because so we are a sustainable sourcing company, and every time I have a new team member come, they go through a 3-month training program to understand what is organic, what is fair trade, what is certified, because it's not something that is common knowledge yet. And so it's wonderful to have a specialist like you available. And all the brands and designers, Mr. Ganesh is really wonderful about replying to emails. And so he's a real resource when it comes to getting guidance on how to truly become sustainable. Because I really think that I don't think that organic is an option anymore. We cannot afford to grow generic cotton. From what I read, it's so bad for the environment, and we are a cotton growing country, that I think organic now should be a non-negotiable. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm not a genetically modified science expert or not an agriculturist or something like that, but we know there are certain negative impacts on using the genetically modified organisms in our day-to-day life. And secondly, when we talk of organic cotton, then yes, India happens to have a larger responsibility, because if you have a look at the global organic cotton producing volume, then at the moment we are having the world's largest supply chain volume of more than 50%. It's around 52% of the global
Wow.
organic cotton which is being procured from India, and the second country at the distant 17% is China. So you can see the gap between number one and two. So our responsibility from the God standard or the organic perspective is quite high, and we need to adhere to it.
So I'm going to put a tagline here, if I've understood correctly, because I've learned something new today. India is the largest manufacturer of organic cotton in the world.
Yes,
That is really
you
truly
can.
impressive.
Yeah,
And sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
you can get these details on the organic cotton market survey. It is available on the website. You can Google it and you can have the details of actual figures, that how much volume it is saying.
Absolutely. Though then it makes me understand how big the responsibility is, because from what I know, cotton is not only a very thirsty crop, but also genetically modified seeds is actually one of the big reasons of farmer suicides in South India, because people don't know
Yeah.
that a lot of the GMO seeds actually are not only bad for the environment, they are not suited to Indian climate, because GMO seeds, which is genetically modified seeds, require so much chemical and so much irrigation infrastructure, which we don't have, that the farmers actually take lakhs of rupees worth of loans to sow these seeds. There is no crop, and then they commit suicide. So GMO seeds is a
Um,
very serious issue in India.
Yeah, and I would just like to throw a little more focus on the GMOs. We have from GOTS, we have taken the issue of genetically modified organisms on a very serious note. A very quality time was spent to make sure that we don't have any GMOs present in the GOTS supply chain or sustainability standard. And we have a few months back we have came across with a new test protocol for the GMO identification. And please, I would like to advise this to the industry on this forum, also to the designers also, because someone will come to you, okay, this is the garment and this is the test report of GMO of this particular garment. Please don't trust on such test reports, because GMO testing is only allowed till the fiber stage, or to a level till when the fabric is not coming in any contact of the chemical stage. That means you need to have a
Oh,
gray or a lint cotton or a fiber stage material with you to go ahead with the GMO identification.
I see.
So please keep this thing in mind henceforth.
So this is wonderful. So then, for those of you who are protectors of human rights and are part of the indigenous environmental movement in India, please, this is a new fact that I am learning today. That GOTS is actively ensuring that their supply chain in India does not have any GMO seeds. Sir, have I said that correctly?
Correct,
And also, what he
correct,
explained to us is, if you
and
want to test whether the cotton is GMO, the only way to check it is if it's Cora or Grey or Raw, because after it's come into
correct,
contact with dyeing and printing chemicals, you cannot tell whether something is GMO cotton
exactly.
or oh, I see. That's really wonderful. I
Yeah,
mean, this is,
yeah.
I thought GOTS had a far reaching environmental impact. This is even so much more. I did not know about this. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, and that's the reason why this standard is being followed and accepted on a global front, because even after this COVID scenario, we thought when everyone was saying the businesses are going down, but the sustainability thing really took its prominence, and it shooted up to such a height that the GOTS approved facilities on global front from 7,300 rose to 10,000 plus. So that is enough to tell you that why industry is considering this standard as one of the most reliable sustainability standard to be followed as far as the textile industry is concerned.
Absolutely. And this I can speak from first-hand experiences. My company works and partners, we develop sustainable supply chains for global brands. And knock wood, I have to say, while things are bad because of COVID, we're all affected. But the brand partners we work with actually have developed even deeper relationships with us because they're committed to sustainability. And so I
Correct.
think those people, manufacturers, designers, dye houses, printing mills, weavers, please consider investing in a GOT certification, because the business return, not only are you, of course, saving the environment, your planet, and therefore your own species, the business return of a GOT certification is manifold. Because what you may have noticed that in total, there are still barely only 10,000 organic suppliers all over the world. You still have a competitive advantage to any new designer or brand who wants to adopt organic, because there is not that much competition on the manufacturing end on organic, because there are not very many people are certified. So actually, you might be interested to hear this, sir. So, we work with many mills in South India around the Coimbatore, Erode belt. Some of them, work with my father, my family's in manufacturing. And we actually, one by one, whoever is willing to, we have got them got certified and said that we will bring you business, because buyers are looking for painless conversion to organic. So if as a manufacturer, you can, without adding to your buyer's headache, become an organic manufacturer and become certified, your business will increase. If you're a brand selling to consumers and you begin to offer organic and sustainable products, your business will increase. I mean, any market research will tell you it makes good business sense, I think, to go the organic route.
And let me add to this. In the current scenario, there is a huge supply-demand gap. Sonika, you are aware, you are working with international brands, so you know how the buyers are more and more demanding on the organic certified products, and there is a supply-demand gap. So yes, of course, we need to cope up to this gap so that India gets maximum benefit of these opportunities. That is one part. And I would also just like to go back. You came out with a touch of farmers in between our talk, and let me brief you something additionally on that. Organic is not something on the farm level that you get directly. Someone starts organic farming and you get organic crop on the very first year. It's not like that.
Yes.
The particular, and not an individual farmer can go ahead with the certification program. There has to be a group of cooperative societies or a group of farmers who go ahead with the sustainability program of organic, and then in the first year they claim their product as IC1, that is in conversion 1. Then second year they get IC2, and the third year they get IC3, and after that it can be called as organic. Now what happens to IC1, 2 and 3? If you look at properly at the GOT standard, in conversion cotton is allowed in the GOT certification program. So IC2 and IC3 certified raw materials can be considered as a raw material in the GOTS program.
I see.
So if I'm just trying to promoting it, I'm just trying to highlight that if you come across any group of farmers who really want to go ahead with the organic program, but they may think what will happen to our crop because no one will purchase the in-between crop. It is not the story. IC1, IC2 and IC3 in conversion cottons are covered under the GOTS program. US market is not accepting it at the moment, but sooner the scenario may change. But yes, it is accepted in the other markets of the world. So just thought of sharing this additional information.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, I read so many articles, especially about farmers in India, who were in a very bad financial situation because the GMO seeds were not working, or the family the family business of agriculture was collapsing, and they took a decision to start organic farming, and actually most of them are financially viable now as businesses, because I don't think very many people understand that the demand for organic cotton is immense, and like you rightfully said, there's a demand supply gap. So consumers continue to ask for organic cotton. Brands, you need to start offering organic cotton to your customers, and manufacturers, there has never been a better time to become GOT certified. I know firsthand that as a producer in Delhi, I now exclusively work only with GOT certified mills, because all of my buyers in America and Europe will not work with generic cotton, and more importantly, I will not offer it to them. So as a manufacturer, if I tell a buyer that I will give you only organic, you will be shocked. Even with the price increase, most buyers will agree because their customers are asking for organic now. So it
Correct.
is where the world is headed. On that note, sir, on the slightly sticky topic of cost, because a lot of people, the favorite question is, how should I be sustainable? It is more expensive, which I think is nonsense, because there is a business case for more expensive sustainable materials and going against fast fashion and producing better quality. But would you help us understand as lay people, why is organic cotton more expensive than non-organic cotton?
Honestly, again, I tell you that we don't really indulge into the costing part, but yes, it may be, people may think it is expensive because it involves lot of additional care to be taken.
Yes,
गारमेंट बनाने के लिए तो कोई भी कैसे भी बना लेगा, but if you
correct,
want to have a sustainable product in the market, then you need to have those sustainable practices put in your premises or your facilities in a proper way. And
correct.
this, trust me, because I have also been on the other side of the industry where people also take other social certifications with them. When you talk of any new process to be put in a particular company and all, the first thing is the rejection, कि यार ये क्या नई बात आ गई, क्यों करनी है. So this is just a general tendency of the people, but like, honestly, once you start adopting to these sustainability programs, and once the company starts giving you the dividends for them, it really improves your productivity, goes to the global market. It really improves your approach to do the business, and this cannot be calculated in terms of financial terms anywhere. So
Yes.
it's just a mindset that needs to be changed in a proper way, and you decide that yes, we will go ahead with a sustainable product in market in coming days. That's it.
You are so right. May I just share a personal experience here, because you're totally right. I am a strong supporter of only organic. And not only do buyers initially not always understand because there is a cost difference. And in my own team, or if I tell a factory or a vendor, well, like you said, the word used is musibat, because they think that we are putting pressure on them because we are preventing them from doing business as usual. I want to just add here that it is now not business as usual if the cotton we are growing is ruining the soil and ruining our entire ecosystem. And so we have to save ourselves as a species. We need to find a way to make clothing in a more responsible way. And doing that may
Correct.
cost more in terms of money. But you're saving the
Yes.
soil, you're saving the water, you're paying fair wages. I dare say that this is the actual cost of producing cotton. When you're producing cheap generic cotton, you're actually cutting corners because you are not purifying your water, you're not paying your people, you're maybe not paying overtime, you're not following the proper processes of recycling. So you may not be paying money cost, but the environmental and human life cost is so high.
Exactly. And
Change.
yes, Sonika, and that's the reason why we take a period of IC2 or IC3, because by doing the conventional way of farming or using so large amount of fertilizers or pesticides in the soil, we have degraded the quality of our soil from the years long. So that's the reason why one farmer cannot go ahead because his land is already contaminated with high amount of chemicals and all. To
Oh God.
eradicate that from that land will take some time. So that's the reason why
Sure.
we need to have a period to get converted from conventional to organic. And just think, if we just simply go ahead with the conventional method of using the heavy chemicals and fertilizers and pesticides, this knowingly unknowingly is going to enter our digestive system, and then you think of
Yes.
the hazards that we are going to face in for the future generations.
Yes, absolutely. Like I read an article about organic food many years ago. It was an article in California in a journal, and they said that do you want to pay more for organic food or pay cheap for non-organic and then pay bills for your cancer medication later? People don't
Exactly.
realize that these chemicals, not only do they harm the soil and the water, again, all that soil, water, animal, plant is coming into the human body. So even if
Exactly.
you
It's
don't care about the environment, care about yourself.
exactly. Very true. Very true.
These are some very harsh realities, and it's just such a pleasure to talk to you, sir, because I don't think people often make the connection. They look at cotton buying as a business decision, not realizing that it's actually a human decision. It's a lifestyle decision. It's for the well-being of the planet and the future of our children. And I think the work you are doing with your organization is truly commendable. And it's just been so wonderful chatting with you and understanding the intricacies of why one should buy organic. On that note, I'm just looking up to see if there's questions, because there are various people on the group. If you have questions for Mr. Ganesh, please ask us. I also want to share at this juncture that this is the first of many wonderful conversations that we are having with him. Tomorrow, actually, on the app Clubhouse, he's joining us again to have a much wider conversation beyond like the certification of organic processes, but also the various other sort of approaches to sustainability. So that promises to be a really interesting conversation. And so you will be meeting him again tomorrow on Clubhouse with me at 6 p.m. But today I really wanted to get a deep dive into exactly the GOTS standard and why people should become GOTS certified. And I actually see some wonderful artisan organizations who are here on the panel. And I often get asked by artisan businesses that, is the GOTS certification a valid investment? Sir, I think it's an incredible investment for a business to get GOTS certified. Do you have any advice for artisan businesses who want to become GOTS certified? How do you see their businesses growing and being benefited by the GOTS certification?
See, the very basic advice will be bang on. If they start with a sustainable project right from day one, then the sky is the limit. You know the demand, the requirement of the organic product in the international market. I mean, the buyers are demanding more and more, and we are actually having short for some sort of the other reasons. So that gives you extra room to go ahead in the market and have more business opportunities. That's it.
Absolutely. And the reason I brought up artisan business in particular was because those of us who work in traditional artisan supply chains in India often may or may not be aware, or even consumers might not be aware, that you actually can source organic cotton fiber as well as organic cotton yarn for handloom businesses. So that, I think, is something people often don't realize. Like, we have brands tell us it can be either organic and machine made, or it can be artisan made and handmade and non-organic. And that's not true. As you shared, you can buy organic cotton fiber as well as yarn, and that can be integrated into artisan technique of weaving and dyeing and printing as well. We actually know some block printing businesses in Rajasthan who are using organic dyes in their traditional practices. And I think that is so incredibly wonderful. I think what's great about the GOTS standard is because there is a certification for every piece of the process. It actually can be adapted to any kind of supply chain. So you could be a handloom weaver, you could be a spinner, you could be a block printer. You can get GOTS certified because it's by process, right?
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Well, it's honestly been so wonderful talking to you, sir. Did you have anything else you'd want to share with us before we close for the evening? I want to keep talking, but we're coming up to the hour, and it's really been wonderful. I actually am so glad that I get to save this recording on my wall. I'm going to go back and refer to it because you shared some wonderful new facts with me today, which I can't wait to share with people. And maybe in future we can essentially do this again, and more brands can hear directly from you the benefits of becoming GOTS certified.
Yeah, sure, Sonika. And it was a real pleasure to get connected, because connecting with the designers is something which normally don't happens too frequent. And this was really a good opportunity for me also to get connected with this new fraternity of the textile industry. Those are the designers. Yes, and as far as from GOTS point of view, any help, any support required from at any point of time, you and your entire team of designers are open enough to reach me at any point of time, and I would love to support them. And I look forward for more and more such interaction sessions with you in coming times.
That sounds really wonderful.
It was really wonderful time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, before you go, a question has come. And sir, I know I am happy to talk, but I would like you to take this question. And an audience person is asking, how do I convince people to buy a sustainable product in India? Because most Indians only look for price and fashion. ये सबसे बड़ा pain point है हमारा हिंदुस्तानियों का. So would you have any feedback for them, sir? This person who's asking.
No, again, because
6559.
We cannot deny the importance of his question also, because yes, when you start adapting certain processes and policies, then price is definitely a part of the industry. But let's say if you invest something, suppose if you invest a lakh in say one particular activity, just think of number of pieces that you are manufacturing in a particular year and divide that price with the sustainability cost that you have incurred. It will come to certain few paisas. That is one aspect.
Yes.
But the second aspect is really what not only the manufacturers but also the consumers need to get aware in their mind is that why the sustainable product is required. Why do they have to use safer products for their future generations? I think this is something which really is a very big question, and we all as the stakeholders of the textile industry should work upon on this point, so that consumer in the end should be aware that why he is so he should purchase a sustainable product. I think the day when this volume will increase of such customers, these questions will get eradicated from the coming in front of us, I'm sure.
And you've answered that so well, because you see his answers in his question. He said that people don't care about more than price and fashion. And as someone who works in brand building and marketing, I have learned that my life's goal is to get people to care. You see,
Yeah.
वो दिमाग में कीड़ा घुसाने वाली बात होती है. Once
I think, and I think
understood that what they are
yes,
eating and wearing is poison, out of 10 people, 5 will not be able to forget once you have educated them. So I do
exactly.
think brands and manufacturers have the power to get people to care. I want to share with you, sometimes we work with brands who come and they don't ask for organic cotton. They have a price target. They say, you know, we want something in say $10, $12, whatever manufacturing cost. And we say, okay, the cost is $12, but we don't do non-organic. If you do organic, we'll give it to you for 13. They may not agree the first time, maybe not the second time.
Correct.
You will not believe, Mr. Ganesh, sometimes people have come back to us after 5 years. That we have heard you that you will charge little more. We have found that money in our business plan through other efficiencies. And we have brands who have 5-year and 10-year plans to become organic. Because sometimes it takes time. So if you actually
Correct.
want to get people to care, I think it can be done. You have to be very persistent.
Exactly, exactly, very true.
It's
Very
been
true.
wonderful,
And
wonderful
yeah,
chatting with you.
yeah, nice. It was a really nice
Absolutely.
experience, yeah, and yeah, look forward for more such interaction sessions with you, Sonika. And
Absolutely.
if
We are going to see you on Clubhouse tomorrow, and it's going to be a really interesting
sure,
conversation. I want to do a little plug here. So, of course, we have you representing the whole GOTS approach, which is so thorough and backed by research. And then we have other stakeholders who follow more traditional approaches to environmental activism. We have one representative who's coming and whose area of work is in natural dyes. And actually, they have a herbal dye plant, which has been GOTS certified. So that will be a really interesting exchange. And then we have in attendance members from Khamir who grow indigenous cotton, which is essentially the traditional short staple fiber that's grown in Gujarat. So it will be wonderful to have a much bigger conversation. And sir, I hope that this is just the beginning of our online dialogues, because we hope to offer classes where experts like yourself can really teach people how to change their business. I think the value that you offer is immense. You're actually teaching businesses a very scientific approach. So thank you so much for your work. It means a lot.
oh, pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
thanks.
much. And on that note, good night, namaste, and have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care. You too. Bye bye. See you.